This episode is brought to you by the CNY Women's Network, a media and PR company connecting and celebrating women professionals, entrepreneurs, and leaders across Central New York. From networking experiences and wellness pop-ups to our annual CNY Women's Summit, which is the largest event for women leaders in this region, we're building a community where women feel seen, supported, and inspired to grow. We're currently partnering with sponsors for our 2026 event season, including the CNY Women's Summit, our walking club, co-working meetups, fitness pop-ups, editorial campaigns, you name it. If your brand is passionate about empowering women and making meaningful community connections, we'd love to collaborate. You can start the conversation and learn more by heading to cnywomensnetwork.com/opportunities. That's cnywomensnetwork.com/opportunities. Now let's get into today's episode. Welcome to another episode of Cultivate CNY. I'm your host, Alex Canavan, and this is part 2 of our special Vanderkamp feature. If you listened to part 1 last week, you've heard the vision and the intentional leadership behind this special wilderness retreat. But today, you get to step inside the world Joe, Dan, and Troy have all created. Vanderkamp is set on 850 remote acres in upstate New York and is a place designed to bring people back to themselves through nature, stillness, and thoughtful hospitality. Every lodge, every communal space, every pathway invites you to slow down, breathe deeper, and reconnect. In this episode, we're taking you through the property, room by room, trail by trail, to experience how the partners have blended natural elements, history, and modern design to create an environment that encourages contemplation, conversation, and curiosity. Whether you're interested in architecture, hospitality, entrepreneurship, or simply discovering what's emerging in Central New York, this episode will give you a whole new appreciation for travel and design. So, without further ado, let's step into Vanderkamp.
We'll go to Frank.
We're going to Frank.
Maybe we'll go to Boathouse. We'll see a little water. Then we'll go to Langston. Then we'll come back, go to Forest Venue. This is my normal tour.
Okay.
Then Grace. And we'll come back here.
I want to capture both the beautiful exteriors, interiors, but also like the land too.
Yeah. Okay.
So if there's cool elements that you guys want us to highlight, definitely let us know.
Yeah.
How large are the retreats you guys typically host here?
So we think our specialty is not large. You know, like we sleep 20 people. So we work really well for like the, you know, a little team, small teams, or like management team offsites, you know, for the overnight type stuff. I think then, you know, we have a wonderful chef and the food's amazing, and you come here and you sit around the fire pit with, you know, your group of people that you may or may not be close to. Mm-hmm. And it kind of creates that bonding experience. But we also, for a day, we can fit up to 200 in our big rooms. But I think what we're selling is this 850 acres of your private place where you can be a steward of for a few days while you're here. Feel like you own it. You're the only ones here. So the fire pit is key to all that.
Mm-hmm. Need a good fire pit.
Yep. So, and this was an old fountain that we uncovered while mowing the lawn or something. We like hit it. It was buried in the yard. And we'll talk about the history of this place as we go through. But so we're like, what is that? And we started digging around it. And we like kept digging, and it didn't end. It goes down probably another like 8 feet. We don't even really know. So we had to figure out what to do with it. And it was a perfect spot for our huge fire pit. Sink it in there. Mm-hmm. Nice gathering spot.
Nice little sunken fire pit. Yeah, no, it's now I'm seeing how it could have been a fountain.
Yeah. That ruined it, didn't it?
I think it just made it make sense.
It's all the elements.
That's what I love about Vanderkamp too, is you can tell that, you know, although you guys have done such a great job developing and renovating and improving the spaces, like you guys have really utilized the property as it may have been utilized in the past. But I just feel like there's so much sustainability behind the way you guys developed this. Is that true?
I think, well, what's cool about this place is it tells you what to do. Like if you're listening, like this place is all about being able to get quiet, and like all sorts of stuff comes up when that happens. But like this, like it just kind of tells you, you know, if you sit with it for a while, like, all right, this is what it was or it should be, you know, especially what we're trying to do with helping other people get to that state. So it's not hard. You just got to listen.
Yeah. Maybe you guys should teach other people how to listen. I think that is hard for most people. Not for you though, Troy. You're a good listener.
Well, like I said, we can't teach anyone anything. We need teachers, but this place can teach you. Yeah, not us. Yeah, it has a way of doing that. You'll see while you're here. You're gonna be totally transformed on the way out. Yeah.
That's how I felt when I was here a few weeks ago. I felt brand new. So what is the history of Vanderkamp? Like, wasn't this a church camp?
Well, even before that, it was a summer estate of the Sewell family. If you're familiar with Sewell Road in Liverpool, um, they owned a company called the Merrill Sewell Company in Syracuse. Their building still stands in Franklin Square, and they patented powdered milk. It was their claim to fame.
Wow, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I grew up off of Sewell Road.
You know,
Yeah.
every road has a name for a reason. Yeah.
So that was their big claim to fame, and they were also the first American company to can and distribute wholesale fruits and vegetables. So if you think of like Libby or Dalmani, you know, that was what they were doing back in the late 1800s. And this was their summer estate. And it used to be bigger, a couple thousand acres, went all the way to Oneida Lake. And you know, over the years it got a little bit smaller, but yeah, this was their deal. And they built these beautiful houses. Frank, where we're gonna go, that was the first one they built. That was the patriarch Frank Sewell. That was his cabin. And yeah.
History is tricky because it goes back infinitely, right? Like we'll go into one lodge where you're gonna see stones from like 250 million years ago, but like there's Native American history, which is hard to figure out like how this was used. You know, there's not a lot of captured content for that. And then Vanderkamp, that name comes from Mr. Vanderkamp, who came over from Holland. And Dan, you gotta correct me on this because I always struggle with it. But
Francis
Francis
Vanderkamp, I think, is the way it was spelled. And you know, out on Route 49, there's a New York State historical sign where his original cottage was. You know, and he came, geez, that was 1780s, I believe, and settled here. He was actually invited by John Adams, and you know, there's letters between him and John Adams, and you know, some of the founding fathers of the country. So it's really cool.
yeah,
That's really special.
Yeah.
they needed money to fund the Revolutionary War, so they sold a lot of upstate New York to these guys from Holland, and he was one of them. But a lot of like Scriba there in Casanova, that county had another guy that these names still exist. But again, it's just one version of one point in history of a long history. We used to be underwater. You want to go back that far?
I know this fire pit was underwater.
That's right. Yeah. Maybe that was always here. We don't know.
That's long ago.
That rock was.
Yeah, when I had posted on Instagram, there was people commenting, you know, that they used to come here in the summers as kids too, which was, I'm sure, what this place most recently was.
Yeah, so in 1965, the Sewell family sold the property to their church. Um, and then a consortium of three churches actually owned it, and they ran it as a children's kids church camp from 1965 till 2019. And then COVID did its thing for those folks, and they had to shut it down, and they decided to sell it.
And did you guys have your eyes on this property before that happened, or?
No, it's
Nope.
It's an interesting story, I'm sure.
well, I was looking for recreational property personally, just for my family, and this kind of came up, and I was like, wow, that was much more than what I was looking for, you know. And Troy and I had been talking, you know, just about what we could do together, you know, if we ever decided to kind of invest in something and develop something. And this wasn't really anywhere on either of our radars, I don't think. And I showed it to him, and he was like, "Yeah, you know, I don't know." Then, like a month later, it popped up on my feed again, and I was like, "Okay, let's go look at it." And I think, you know, when Troy and I and Joe, we came out and checked it out, it didn't take us long to see the value and see the possibilities. I mean, the possibilities were endless, you know. So
Yeah.
kind of ran from there.
It's again back to like just a feeling. Like all three of us had the same intuition of like, I don't know what we're gonna do there, but it's awesome, and we got to do something and recreate it. Help people feel that same feeling. So
Yeah.
Shallot was born, or reborn. So.
Yeah. It was yours.
Nope.
No,
Nope.
it's not yours.
It's not ours. Stewards. We're stewards for a little while. We'll all be dead soon, so it'll still be here.
Troy, you're so philosophical. You're also very humble. All right, let's check out Frank.
Yeah.
I'm checking out Frank. So you guys were able to kind of stay connected with the previous owners and with the history?
They kind of stayed connected with us. Like it was very important to a lot of people as a church camp. Like it was lots. Like when we first got involved, like just tons of people stayed here that had gone to church camp, and it was very interesting to them to come back and like experience the property as an adult. So a lot of our customers still come from that relationship with the place. And then the Sewells, any of the surviving members kind of heard what we were doing, and we're definitely thankful and happy that we're keeping the place alive in some way.
Yeah. No, I'm sure they're very grateful for what you guys have done.
All right. Welcome to Frank.
I like how you guys have added quotes to each space, but also, you know, on your website too. I noticed that on the different pages where you guys are highlighting each cabin and lodge. Where did these quotes come from?
Well,
how did you
that one.
figure out which quote for what lodge?
I'll give Joe most of the credit for a lot of the wording. All the wording on the website and a lot of the design stuff is him. I think it's him finalizing it. So like the three of us will hash things out for months, you know, like what is, you know, back to like the beginning of what's it going to be? What's this place? And who stays here? And what's its, you know, theme or whatever. And so we'll hash those things out. We'll throw out ideas. We'll throw out a lot of bad ideas, and then we'll throw out a good idea, and then it'll become a bad idea after you sit on it too long. So that quote probably took like 30 hours of work. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Exactly. That's important to say that.
Yeah. So this is a 7-bedroom, 5-bath. It's kind of our most open layout, we'll call it. But this is the first lodge we did with that customer in mind, like families, friend groups. It's a deceivingly large house. We'll walk around, but it's it's right the only big lodge right on the lake. There's only 2 lodges on the lake, this and the Boathouse, which we'll see. But this was all about gathering families together. And when we first opened, we you know, did the Airbnb thing, VRBO thing, and put it on all the platforms, and kind of anticipating to get a lot of local folks to like want to come out here and escape. But I would say like 80% of the people ended up being from like Manhattan and New Jersey and Boston, like from a ways away. And we had marketed it as this like borrow 850 acres for the day or for the weekend. And like that message, it just like put this sense of awe or like vastness into the product, and it just worked. And it's kind of what we continue to make a focus of the place.
It truly does feel like you are at your own estate, camp, whatever you want to call it. Is the lake yours too? Is this a private lake?
Yeah, it's all included in the property. So 850 acres is very big, and I make up all kinds of numbers, so I'm just going to make up some more. But it's like a mile that way. It's like a mile and a half that way, another mile that way. It's like, it's a lot of empty space, and like most of the lodges are in like 40 acres here, which we'll walk around. But the rest is just trees and a lake, and the lake is in the middle of the property pretty much. Yeah, it's a weird feeling that you don't get even in the Adirondacks or in like the Catskills. I'm from the Catskills, but we like to say the Catskills are crowded. You know, there's a lot of people there. There's a lot of there's a house every mile, or you know, like even closer than that. So it's uniquely empty up here, and it makes it pretty special. So.
Yeah. Which makes sense why you guys have gotten so many people to come up from the city, come all the way up here. They're really looking for that escape, I think. But another thing is, I mean, it's only 40 minutes from downtown Syracuse too. So
yeah,
it's a great location.
Yeah, it's definitely easier. The Adirondacks are beautiful and amazing, so it's hard to compete with those mountains. But it's a lot closer, and you get even a little more of the remoteness feel, I think, when you come here, which is weird. But it's there's no mountains to climb here. We have a lot of trails, 8 miles of trails, but they're sauntering trails, not even hiking trails. They're not for conquering anything. There's nowhere to get.
They're not for conquering, but they might be for pondering.
Pondering, there you go.
It's
Figuring
still
things out, sure.
It's nice to go on a nice walk and just be in the trees too.
Yeah.
So,
You bet.
yeah. And I didn't get a chance to do that when I was here last, but next time I stay, I'm definitely going to be going on
You gotta.
a nice
I think
walk.
when you go to the Adirondacks, and I just went a couple weeks ago, they are beautiful and it's awesome. But I think I ran to 30 people on a trail with my daughter, whereas you are not going to run into any people on our trails. There are a lot of animals and a lot of trees, but they're not as worn down. It's a different experience.
If you're looking for solitude, come to Vanderkamp.
Yes, with family, or if not.
Yeah. Let's check out Frank and see all the spaces. I was here last time when we did the tour, but I don't think I saw anything upstairs or any of the bedrooms.
Cool. Yeah, so the bigger lodges usually have a big dining room, cool dining room table.
And we got another fire pit outside too.
Every place has a fire pit, yeah.
Okay.
There's this artist in Utica who came and he made, what are they called? Wooloos? Wooloos. Really captured the elements of this place. He wants to come and do these experiences where you make pottery basically, which takes all 4 elements, which is really cool when you think about a place like this. You need fire, and you need sand, and you need air, and you need water. So you take all those things from here and you make pottery that could only be made here. And it's when you think about, which is a lot of places, when you think about it, it's wow, that's pretty neat. And,
that's a great activity too for people who are coming to stay on site, do something different. I think one of the best things to do while you're on retreat, or if you're hosting a retreat, is find some sort of way to get your attendees or your guests working together and using their hands.
Yeah.
So pottery would be a really fun way. And also it gives people something to walk away with and to use and to remember their experience here.
Yeah.
So I love that. And you guys also have the equestrian center. What are we calling it? There were beautiful horses on the way in.
Oh yeah. We partner with on the one on the way in is North Riding, who is an awesome neighbor, and then we also have another partner up the road who does horseback riding through our trails. It's a guest experience you can book, and she also does team building and equestrian team building through guiding the horse to do cool things. So it's a team event, and then also an angle of therapy where it's a more one-on-one experience with a horse where you're I think you even hug the horse at one point and breathe with it to get this feeling of this huge animal, and it's a pretty neat experience that can't get a lot of places. But, all right, keep walking.
Do people book this for holidays?
Oh yeah.
Spend the holiday?
Yeah, I think all of them are almost booked. So these are 250-year-old shrimp-like worm that went through these stones, which were found on the property and made into this fireplace. But we didn't know what they were when we first got the place, so we were trying to figure it out for a while. And I think someone from ESF was able to help us. But it's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Again, back to the history of the place, it puts it in perspective of how small.
Yeah, and it was just a story, that all of these places were built with timber from the property, stone from the property.
Yeah.
But then we dug one up ourselves.
Yeah.
When we were putting a new power line into this building, and we were like, oh wow, this is really, really cool. Now we know for sure this stuff is actually right here. It's pretty cool.
This is nice.
Yeah,
little sunroom.
Yeah.
And so where did this stuff come from? Was this for show, or is there?
A lot of this is, so this place was not furnished like this when we got it, but with Joe, and then Lauren Stanek was our design help on this, with a lot of the furniture and stuff. It takes a lot of effort and thought to it has to fit with the time period, and you'll see that each lodge has its own theme and own vibe. This one is you're gonna have to ask Joe what we call everything. He's got rustic chic, and this is
rustic chic.
Yeah. This one, that's the
Joe,
Boathouse. This one is
lingo.
another name, but just trying to, this one has a different feel than you'll see, our more Zen feeling of grace. But
yeah, this one feels I mean, just in general, when you walk in, you're like, oh, this is a family home.
Yeah.
Like it feels like you're in someone's home.
Yeah, from the early 1900s. We're trying to keep a lot of the furniture in that like time period, and it feels like you're stepping back in time a little bit. Yeah.
It's such a beautiful view too.
Yeah, so we do weddings and stuff right out here in the lawn. We'll have the ceremonies usually out there by that tree, which is really cool and really old. So it does feel like you're kind of at this big family retreat, you know, for that kind of experience. So.
Love it.
All right.
This episode is proudly sponsored by Aqua Spa Float Center and Wellness Boutique, my go-to spot to rest, relax, and rejuvenate. If you're someone who prioritizes your health, fitness, and overall well-being, Aqua Spa offers a truly personalized approach to total mind, body, and spirit renewal. From IV therapy and massage to infrared sauna, float therapy, and red light therapy, their services are designed to help you feel your best, whether you're recovering from a tough week or simply carving out intentional time for yourself. One of the things that really sets Aqua Spa apart is their team of wellness ambassadors. Every visit feels thoughtful, supportive, and tailored to what you need that day. It's not just a service, it's an experience. I've been a client for over a year and always make it a point to book a monthly wellness day there. I love the atmosphere, the care, and the people. It's truly a one-stop destination for restoration and self-care. To learn more or book your next visit, head to aquaspafloatcenter.com or click the link in the show notes. This episode is brought to you by Common Space Work. I love working at Common Space because it's not just a beautiful, productive space. You also never know who you're going to meet there. There are so many interesting people there building really cool things, and the energy is incredible. Whether you're looking for an office space, a place to host your next team meeting, or just somewhere inspiring to get focused, Common Space Work is the place to be. Common Space Work is located in downtown Syracuse at 351 South Warren Street, and you can learn more about membership at commonspace.com/work. Today's episode is proudly supported by Empower Federal Credit Union, a member-owned, not-for-profit financial institution that's been putting people and community first for decades. At Empower FCU, banking is personal. They're committed to making financial services more accessible and affordable while reinvesting directly into the Central New York community through volunteer efforts, donations, and partnerships with local organizations that offer food security, accessible healthcare, safe housing, and youth development. Empower FCU is committed to creating a more secure future by supporting jobs, infrastructure, and access to home ownership. Through everyday banking, flexible lending, and trusted financial guidance, we help members reach their goals with confidence. To learn more about how Empower Federal Credit Union is making an impact, visit empowerfcu.com. Today's episode is proudly sponsored by Cannon Advisory Group, a trusted partner for entrepreneurs and small business owners across the country. At Cannon Advisory Group, their mission is simple: to make managing your finances easier so you can focus on what really matters, growing your business. From bookkeeping and payroll to strategic consulting, their experienced team works across industries like healthcare, technology, finance, and manufacturing to provide personalized, detail-oriented support. Whether you're a startup or an established company, Cannon Advisory Group helps you streamline operations, stay compliant, and move forward with confidence. To learn more, you can visit cannonadvisorygroup.com. So we're at the Boathouse.
Yeah.
This one is, I mean, I just love the dock right off the bedroom.
This one you're sleeping on the water.
Yep.
So this one's built in 1911. This and Frank were the first two probably on the property, except Langston, which was here when they bought it, probably. So I got the cool outdoor fireplace that they had it together back then. They knew they needed an outdoor fireplace.
They knew the power of a good fireplace.
That's right. All right. So there used to actually be boats down here, and this was where we parked them. It was a real boathouse.
So it was a real boathouse.
Yeah, and then converted into this kind of 2-bedroom little retreat with a huge shower.
That's it.
But that room, you're kind of like, yeah, really just wake up and you're sleeping like right on the water. It's kind of neat.
I think we should definitely go upstairs.
Yeah.
It smells so good.
We do have our own Vanderkamp scent that we put in all the places and sell in the store, but the fireplace overpowers it. Yeah.
What was the Vanderkamp scent? Who made it? How'd you guys go about that project?
Catskill Candle Company.
Catskill Candle Company.
Campfire and fur. So we have the diffusers and the candles that folks can take home with them.
Really?
Yeah.
You can take it home?
Again,
That's very
another
good.
80-hour decision on which scent to pick. You know,
Yeah,
it's,
absolutely.
we probably went through 30. No. Yeah, it's amazing how many little decisions you need to make in something like this, where it's trying to please a very broad audience, but it's like overwhelming, and how much effort you put into this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys have done, I feel like this place has blossomed very quickly though. But obviously it hasn't been done without lots of time spent.
Yeah,
What
well,
is-
that's good to hear. We feel like it hasn't blossomed very quickly.
I'm sure you're in it, but you guys have done an excellent job at. And when I came the first time, I was just so impressed by how much detail there really is. Like you could really tell that you guys put so much attention to detail and just there's so much purpose behind each of these spaces too. So
Yeah,
it's obvious, definitely.
it's definitely little things that trigger you. Like we're trying to really help people get into this like quiet mindset where like real cool things can come up for folks. But to get there, you need to choreograph the whole experience, right? It's the email you get when you book. It's the message you get a couple days ahead of time, setting the stage. It's the the mile drive in along this like windy path. So when you get here, it's like you're already setting the stage, and then you see like, the coffee maker is a pour over maker, no Keurig, right? Like setting the stage again, and like it's all those little details are what's reminding you to simplify and to get out of all the normal chaos that's in our minds, and hopefully something good comes of that for everybody.
I love that.
There's our sales pitch.
Yeah. The hammock, good touch. Very, very nice touch with the hammock. What kind of trees do we have on the property? I know you mentioned a chestnut tree.
Yeah, so when the Sewell family purchased the property, originally it was called Chestnut Farms because of the expanse of chestnut trees. And then at the turn of the century, the blight was killing off all the American chestnuts, and they changed the name to Vanderkamp Farms after Francis Vanderkamp. So I did a little bit of research and I joined the American Chestnut Foundation. And
Nice.
so the chestnut trees still grow, but they die when they're about 20 years old because oak trees carry the same blight that kills them off, but the oak trees don't die. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know exactly how that works, but we had a guest, actually, the Wright family, that own a nursery downstate. And they stay with us every year. They stay at Frank and they stay here. And we had a bad storm. I came down to check on them, make sure everything was okay. It got super windy. And they invited me in. I was talking to them for a little while. They go, you have American chestnut trees on this property. And we sat and talked for about a half an hour, and they gave me the coordinates of a chestnut tree that's probably about 20 years old. So, it's a good size. It's right over here. We'll go visit. But that's just really, really cool, because these things, they call them the redwoods of the East, they're just these massive, massive trees. And it's sad that they're not here anymore, but there's remnants, so it's cool. But there's also red oaks, white oaks, a lot of eastern pine trees, a lot of beech, so it's your pretty common upstate New York forest.
Mm-hmm.
It was a byproduct, a little bit of globalization. Like if the blight came over on a Japanese,
Chinese, yeah,
way
yeah,
back in the early 1900s on a ship.
yeah, yeah,
Infested our forests and took out every chestnut tree in the Northeast, basically.
yeah.
So, like,
They're extinct.
which is
For all
a
intents and
common
purposes.
story. Lots of things that are extinct.
Yeah, the floors in the Boathouse in Oscar, Grace, and Frank, and Langston are larch trees, and they all came from the property as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
These ones are stained, but the other ones we kept their natural color, and they got like a red hue to them. So you'll see that when we get over to Grace. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love how you guys are repurposing all the elements that are on the property and putting them into the cabins and lodges.
Yeah,
That's
New
neat.
stuff isn't cool. Could you imagine making like a
New stuff isn't cool. You're right.
How would you make it? Well, I mean, it takes a lot of money and effort to make them cool. Like,
Yeah.
it's like you'd have to build that fireplace by hand, which nobody does anymore. They make fake stone, and it's
Yeah.
easy to put on, so everybody does that. You know, you don't build a fireplace like that, so it's
Yeah.
hard to make new stuff neat.
I don't know if you see the center rock up there inscribed with 1911 when this was built. It's pretty neat.
Wow, I didn't notice that.
You weren't paying attention. Damn it.
I wasn't paying attention.
There's quiet enough.
I mean, I'm just overtaken by the good smells. I'm closing my eyes, actually. I'm not seeing anything. I'm just smelling. But no, that's why I love this place, because there's so much to look at, so much to see. So it really is one of those places that you can just keep coming back and you never get tired of it, honestly.
Well, we're still finding new things too. You know, you walk around the property and, you know, we're always discovering things. It's pretty neat. You know, that's what probably one of the coolest things I think about this place is the infinite possibilities. The potential is everywhere, and you know, you can just walk around and find an old fire pit that somebody that's in the middle of the woods that's hand built out of stone, and it's still there, and it's gorgeous, you know. And yeah, so it's neat. There's a lot of cool stuff here.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. You ready, y'all?
Yeah.
History.
Yeah, that's history right there.
Yeah.
Through the development of this property, have you guys visited other places similar to this to get inspiration or?
Not enough, no. Lots of research, and
Yeah.
kind of on purpose. Again, we wanted this place to be what it is, not like what someone else's place was. So I think that was kind of to our benefit. We didn't really go to a lot of different places, study them. And the goal still is to be a little bit of a unique destination. Again, it's like this idea that you're borrowing 850 acres. Like there's not much like that in the Northeast right now, where you have that kind of intimate experience with the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And so our goal really isn't to grow that big, it's to keep that and just do it and do it well.
All right, Langston, here we are.
Well, Langston, actually, Troy said it was his favorite, and Troy really grabbed a hold of this one in the design, and Joe and Troy worked closely together on this one, where I think, you know, with a lot of things, Joe will take the lead on design aspects and stuff, but Troy was really, really intimate with this one, right?
Your baby.
So hands-on that I actually wired some of this and
Yeah.
put insulation in.
Yeah.
Wow.
So again, this one, you could basically open the door here, and it was just bunk beds. Everywhere you saw was just bunk beds, and you had to kind of shimmy your way through. But yeah, it was completely gutted and redone. This is all locally grown and sawn wood that we got from local mills, and larch floors. These are the original floors here. This is our
floors.
yeah, and this is our honeymoon suite. So whenever we have weddings, the bride and groom will stay here, and just you talk about the curated stuff and the books and the period correct, you know, decorations and things. The reading nook over there with all the books. It's really, really cool place. Between the Boathouse and this one, it's a toss up to which one's my favorite, but I really like Langston.
Yeah. We need Troy to talk about his vision for Langston too. Troy, I mean, I know you mentioned this is the place for a writer's retreat.
Yeah.
So what was your vision for this?
Again, it's what it told me to do, right? So when we walked in, this place pretty much had this exact layout, except it was a little mice ridden. Hadn't been touched in like 30 years.
It was not nearly as bougie as it is now.
Yeah, right. But it was very easy. Like if you had to build this place from scratch, then you got to make every decision. But the decisions were made, right? Like the fireplace is already there. So for me, it was like, people say like if you want to figure out what you want to do with your life, think about when you're 5 years old and like what you were doing then and what lit you up. And for me, it was like making forts or something in the woods or like this like little escapes that I always fantasized about. So like this place is like, yeah, this is like stepping back in time. We just need to like bring it back to life and keep all the cool elements. And Joe, he loves like modern design and like bright and black and white and these colors and so like the reason I had to take the reins on this was just like this can't be black and white. This has gotta be like it's gotta be this old like which he didn't fight. He obviously was probably thinking the same thing, but it had to be this kind of this feeling of oldness. Yeah.
It's very cozy. I'm loving all the leather elements in here with the mixed wood and again the smell. But you know what my favorite part of Langston is? The copper sink. That sink was like, I don't know why, but it just blew my mind when I first saw
They're
it.
very not practical.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely so.
They're hard to clean, but we love a big, huge sink. And the copper is just so gorgeous with this whole color palette.
And even this is like soapstone. Like this is second
Yeah.
countertops. Like you got to use elements that are.
I know. I love like the slightly green undertone with the copper. It's so beautiful. And it's a beautiful stove too.
I think we all have this like, well, maybe not all of us, but I certainly do this like fantasy of like escaping the modern world, right? Maybe forever. But that's what this place is saying. Is like it's just
it's an escape.
It's back in time, and it's this escape. That's like, all right, I am not into my normal problems of life and whatnot. And you got to use the reading nook.
And the book nook. Yeah. Like the reading nook is so cute. I've actually never seen one before. And my second favorite part is the bathroom.
The bathroom, yeah, the bathroom was sweet.
The shower.
Yeah.
And like the stone from the sink we got out back. Like I had to wander the yard. It's my best job here. Yeah. Like let's find a rock and put it on this thing and make it. The idea was to make the sink actually the stone.
Yeah.
And Jim, our contractor, was like, "Yeah, no, let's just put something on top of it."
Yeah.
How did you find Jim?
It was definitely meant to be. He's a local guy, owned his own contracting company, high-end stuff, does beautiful stuff, and he grew up in the Adirondacks. It was that's where he became a craftsman up there, moved down here, and we hired his company to do Frank, our first project. So I was just vetting, all these different contractors, and he came to us, and just out of putting ads out and feelers out, I think he actually was recommended to us by the local hardware store, Buckingham's, and it was great. Just a fantastic relationship. Him and his team did just great work for us. He finished that, and he did a little bit of work in the Boathouse, and maybe a little bit of work in here, and then he kind of reached out to us, right? And he owned his own business for a long time and was kind of getting burned out from that, and just proposed to us, hey, do you need a full-time construction guy? And we were like, wow, this is perfect. So he came in-house with us for a little bit, and it was always going to be a kind of a temporary thing because we're not going to build forever, but he's a great partner with us and a great friend. He's become a great friend, him and his family. So,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's very good. Instead of having someone that's just not interested in the complicated things that you guys have to get done here.
Right. Yeah. And then he helps design some of them.
He does. He's got great ideas. He's built railings. We'll get to the forest venue, railings down the stairs out of trees, and just beautiful stuff. He's a talented guy.
I love the forest venue. I can't wait to go back over there. But when we were on our tour here the first time, it was like very lightly raining, and the sound was so perfect. And I just was like, oh, this is such a beautiful space, especially for a wedding.
Yeah. We got to get like a guy playing music there, a girl playing music there that we haven't We haven't really brought music in well yet. We did one little festival like a couple years ago
Yeah.
where Michael Haggerty helped us bring in like some local folks, and we had people on the porch playing. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was
Just
pretty
gotta
fun.
do another round of that. Get people in the woods playing some tunes.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I mean, we're going to go see it soon, but I just love the trees in the background
Yeah.
of the ceremony area, just like the tall green trees. All right, we're going on to the next. Was this all here before you guys own this for church? Like, is this where they would host?
Yeah, so they had I don't know what they did. I think they had the stage up there. So, I mean, I kind of think like, because again, it was kids, maybe they were doing, plays or, talent shows or something like that. You can tell it was made for kids because the benches are pretty close together.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful as an adult. And we're not sure if we're going to, leave those or bring in our wedding chairs for those events. But so far we improved these. They were all, kind of coming apart. So we fixed them up. Yeah.
We've like a couple of our corporate retreats have used this space to like do, kind of team building activities and stuff like that, where you get into the woods and
Nice workshop space.
yeah,
Education, because you do have that area over there where someone could give a speech or
yeah,
teach a workshop outside
yeah.
on a nice day. Why
If
not?
you're volunteering, you need a workshop.
I think this would be a great place to host an outdoor workshop. I mean, the whole point of this place is to get people out in nature anyway, right? So
Yeah.
obviously you guys have the beautiful Kempwick Commons for,
Yeah,
presentations and activities like that, but
yeah. It's definitely trying to be something for everybody. Like you got to meet people wherever they are. Some people come here and they'll hike all 8 miles, and they'll be outside like 90% of the time, which is awesome. But then some people, are coming, they're like not sure their relationship with nature, and they're like, I just want to be in this really nice, awesome indoor space, but like a beautiful window of the outside, and like that's just as cool, just as like powerful. It's just some scale of gray. Nothing's black or white. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. It's all
that's
all
right.
in the middle.
Just listen.
Just
Listen
listen.
to what you're supposed to do. That's right.
That's what you want people to leave with, right?
Just listen.
Just listen. That's all you have to do. Okay, where to next?
Grace.
Grace.
Yeah.
Yep. Grace is where I want to definitely be at for our retreat, I think.
Yeah.
This is Grace.
Yes.
So this quote, to understand the world, one has to turn away from it on occasion. I love that one.
Yeah, and this was our last lodge, right? We've done mainly around, so again, trying to figure out what this place was. People loved coming as families, they loved coming as couples in their little lodges or coming solo. But we started doing a lot of corporate retreats, and one of the feedback things we were getting was like, yeah, it'd be cool if everybody had their own bathroom, right? And there's more of a separation, in some of the spaces. So this one, it was a big lodge. I think it was 8 bedrooms. We turned it into a 9-bedroom, 9-bath, pretty unique, lodge that you all kind of stay in, mainly around the corporate retreat customer or the wellness retreat customer. So you'll see when we go in, it's a little bit more set up like that, but a little Zen vibe to it. Huge dining room.
Oh, there's the hot tub.
Yeah.
Looks like there's sunroom as well. So cute. I love the design. Yeah, the bedrooms are cute.
Over here is an oil painting of Grace.
Oh, I was going to ask about the art.
Matt would be a great person to talk to about Grace because he got to sit down with this young lady as a 80-something-year-old woman. She was the first one to stay here, and she gifted that to us along with a bunch of pictures and stuff. But he had a really good hour-long conversation with her about the property and the things that they did as a child, when she was growing up. And it's really sweet.
It's very sweet. I love oil paintings. Should we go upstairs and check it out?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
sure. there's 4 bathrooms. This was just dead space
Okay.
and
Okay.
just like storage. So like Troy was saying, we wanted to give each bedroom its
Oh,
own
wow.
bathroom, so we were able to convert this space. And this is another Jim thing. You know, he was just really good and creative at making sure this stuff works. You know,
Making it functional.
making it functional. Yeah, and Matt, our main guy here, he built all these. They all have these floating bookshelves in every bedroom. One bedroom is it's a little different. It's pretty cool for families. You know, it's a little bigger. It actually has a full bathtub, little kids' room. You know, right here. So
this is very cute.
we've had a lot of, you know, like ladies' weekends. You know, girls
Yeah.
getting out. You know,
Yeah.
and having a great
Like
time.
I'm sure like bachelorette parties probably. Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, we needed it. We had some requests. You know, hiking is one thing, but they wanted a little something extra, and we deliberately didn't put a treadmill in there. You know, because we still want you to get outside. You know, and a lot of people will run the road or run the trails, but yeah, just a simple little, some free weights. You know, a elliptical and you know a little bike thing in there, but.
Nice.
And a beautiful view, you know,
Yeah.
everything's facing those
It
windows.
is
So,
nice.
you know, you're looking out and you can see, you know, just nature, and it's cool. This will be on our list here in the spring, is to beautify this space a little bit. You know,
Oh, outside right here.
yeah, well, what happens is it's bamboo and it's like invasive
Okay.
and it grows like crazy. So I want to kind of reclaim it a little bit to what it was. You know, there's these 2 little ponds here, and what's really cool, I don't know if we can see it, but right here, there's like there must be a spring, and there's a built stone and concrete little wall with one of those stones inscribed 1913.
Okay, we got the sauna and cold plunge in here, y'all. I love the view.
Yep. So we planted some clover out there, trying to draw some deer in so they can, you know, you got some wildlife.
Nice. That's so cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
When did you guys start this, open the spa?
This was just in the spring of this year, I think, something like that. But yeah, we were trying to, figure out what do you do here again? You don't want to do a lot, but you want to give spaces where you can be quiet. And this was just like a storage building. So we're kind of thinking, all right, we should do this self-serve kind of spa experience where it's just like this Zen experience where you can come in, you just do the cold plunge. It's all included on your own. You do the sauna, you schedule it. You get our white pine tea. I don't know if we talked about that.
Not yet.
We harvest needles from the pine trees here in the forest, and then we turn it into a tea. And it's all here. You just come and make yourself that tea, so you can kind of take in the elements of the forest.
Nice.
And then the dream is to continue to develop on this place. The original plan was to have these kind of hot spring like hot tubs out back, so that they're stone like built into the landscape. 2 or 3 hot tubs where they're you kind of go out there and have that experience like a Montana fake hot spring experience, but here in Vanderkamp. So
that would be really cool.
Round 2 of this.
Yeah, developing more of the outside areas.
Right. Things you can do all season. So even in the winter, be outside, or even here, just looking out at the snowfall.
I did tell Dan you guys are going to have to build a koi fish pond, but it's going to be up to you to research and learn how to maintain it during the winter.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not impossible. I'm sure this has been no cheap endeavor, but Central New York is lucky to have you guys that are willing to take the risk and to, create something really, really special here.
Recreate. Yes. Cool.
Yes, recreate. Sorry, I'm sorry. sorry.
All right.
I like the concrete in here too. You guys kept the concrete.
Hey, should we go over Labyrinth?
Oh yeah.
The labyrinth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you kind of walk along there and then, just be with your thoughts. And then when you get to the end, you'll have your answer. That's like the idea behind
Oh,
whatever
wow.
it is, or spiritual answer, whatever.
Yeah.
So this was here. And right after we got the place, where I was over here playing around, I was like, this is flat. It's kind of weird. And like, I don't know how, but I caught the glimpse of a brick. So the church must have had made this, or I don't know if actually the schools did. We really don't know who made it, but
We do. The church made it. Yeah, Renee from Peters.
She says she
Yeah, one of our tenants at one of the buildings came here as a child. They built this, so it was a project.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So we just uncovered it like a couple months ago to like be a part of this experience, and we still need signage kind of over to it. But
Well, that's the thing about this place is that as soon as I came here, I'm like, oh, you can just feel like there's something sacred here. And obviously, there's been so many interesting pieces of history and groups of people that have come here and loved this place. But having a labyrinth, like just a natural labyrinth,
yeah, no,
it's pretty sacred,
if
you ask me.
It is. Yeah, I think these type of things remind you of your non-separateness. I think that's this magic that people feel when they come here, and people give it different labels like God or universe or whatever or self, but it's all the same thing. It seems like, because we get to hear lots of different people's perspective on it, but it's cool. Like, at least for me, like to see like, oh, you're all kind of saying the same thing, which is really neat. So this kind of helps you get to that place of like, this is all us. This is the same thing. Talk about my.
There's a oneness, yeah. It's not nonsense, Troy. I love it when you do that.
There's a bird's nest up there. Just paying attention.
Yeah.
Or a group of leaves. All right, Woolabin.
Woolabin. To Woolabin we go.
Woolabin.
This is nice. I don't know.
Simple.
So it's funny you say that. Simple. Might have been the hardest one.
Yep. Definitely.
Certainly the job wasn't simple.
That's a very dark bathroom.
It is.
I'm guessing you talked about the logs on this one already.
We didn't. No.
These are all logs from the property that were, chopped down, put together, chinked into this thing. So it's kind of cool that it has that story.
We learned how to chink log cabins.
Yeah. We're not very good at it.
No.
Do it again.
No. Took us a long time.
Gives you a lot of respect probably for how people used to live.
Yeah.
What people used to have to do in order to live and have food, water, and shelter.
Yeah.
Most things were time, right? Like labor, like the logs were cheap, but like it took that time to build this place. It's crazy, just the amount of effort it takes.
So we found that map in the attic of Frank. It's from 1922, and Frank Sewell played a big part in bringing the Erie Canal through central New York. Yeah. And it's a Erie Canal map, but it's pretty cool if you look closely at it. It demarks like rock piles and stuff, and they spell boulders Boulders. I don't know why, but.
And that concludes our two-part feature of Vanderkamp, a retreat where design, nature, and hospitality merge into something truly unforgettable. A huge thank you to Joe, Troy, and Dan for opening their doors and sharing not only the space, but the heart behind it. If you'd like to learn more, explore booking a retreat, or follow their continued development, you can find all the links in the show notes below. Thank you so much for joining us, and until next time, keep cultivating the world you want to live in. Bye. This podcast is produced by Dia Media Group, a video production company based in Syracuse, New York. If you'd like to work with Dia Media for your next big campaign, or maybe a podcast you'd like to get off the ground, head to diamedia.com to learn more. Until next time, I'm Alex Canavan, and I'll see you next Monday.